In 2016, the Association of National Advertisers tackled a very important topic in our industry, media transparency. And they released a landmark study in the summer of 2016 that really became a wake-up call for our industry. It forced all participants to step back and look at the ecosystem through a new lens. Over the past 5 years, the Association of National Advertisers has done a tremendous amount of work keeping the important issues of media transparency front and center. And they continue to tackle those vexing issues head on. To mark the 5-year anniversary of the ANA Media Transparency Report, we spoke with a number of industry leaders to hear more about how they adapted to changes that were initiated by the report, how they took steps to actually follow through on the protocols and recommendations that were part of that report, and to hear a little bit about their ambitions as we look ahead. In this video, I speak with Marla Skiko, U.S. and Global Head of Media at Ford Motor Company. Marla talks a little bit about the importance of transparency issues across her enterprise and how they're really leaning into eliminating non-transparent business practices in all of their media buying.
When the transparency study came out, the timing was actually interesting at Ford because Ford was in the process of doing a very in-depth operational business review that involved all of our partners that we work with, all of our agency partners. And so we were deep diving into what are our protocols, what are our processes, what do we want more transparency and accountability on anyway. So the transparency report really just gave us some more things to think about. There were some more talking points. It was just more information and background that helped inform conversations that were already underway. What are we buying? Where does it show up? How do we show up? I mean, that became really prevalent last year as we saw when we think about, are we in brand safe and suitable environments? What does that mean to us as a brand? How do we think about those standards? And the industry at large really began to have, I mean, as we know with entities, the ANA working really closely with entities like GARM, thinking about what are these standards? How do we want to define them, each individual marketer? How do we want to track them universally so that we're all speaking from the same sort of playbook? And then how are we deliberate and what criteria matter to us? And then it's setting roadmaps with partners so that it isn't left to chance. It's very specifically outlining what criteria matter to any individual brand and then working together on the roadmap for how we're going to meet that criteria with any individual partner. Those conversations became a lot more distinct. And I think that's not going away. I mean, certainly discussions on brand safety aren't going away, but beyond brand safety, tracking anything that's important, whether it's fraud, whether it's viewability, these all matter, and being very deliberate in how we outline how do they matter to our company and what we want accountability towards, that has to be really specifically outlined. And we've been working really hard against that. We've put processes in place, like I talked about, but we also changed the makeup of we thought about, who do we need to have internally so that we have accountability on ourselves? Do we have the right people in the right roles who have the right understanding of how data and technology work and how that's associated with our media spending so that we can then partner with our agencies? It should be, equal on both sides. And so we really looked at, do we have the right roles? Do we then combine those with the right processes? And going forward, I think what's really important is continuing to talk as an overall community. The ANA has been really helpful in that, in bringing marketers together so that we can benchmark off each other. We can compare notes. And as we define what this should be, we then have more of a holistic nature of looking at this. So you don't just see it from your angle, but you hear what other people are talking about. And I think that discussion, whether it's, within the ANA, the IAB, working with MRC, all of these industry entities help us stay connected and help make sure that this is something that is so pervasive that it doesn't slide backward. We just continue to build it together.